Hello everybody, how you doing? Back up the hill at night. A big old moon above Holy Isle tonight. And I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. Doo-doot. Welcome to another episode of Quoth the Camza. Coming at you from my happy place. It's been a good day. I've been quite productive, which is awesome. First of all though, I've been listening to the Brian Rose London Real video, not video, it's audio, where he's talking with one of my favourite all-time artists, who is Ice-T, Ice MFT. I've been a fan of Ice-T's since late 80s. Iceberg, Power, OG. I went to see him with my pal Ross at the Barrowlands. That was the first gig I think I went to after my accident. I was on crutches and what. So I think I'm going to listen to some Ice-T on the way back down the hill. I've been doing a lot of music listening the past couple of days and it's been great actually, sitting out on the porch listening to Mogwai, listening to 9 Inch Nails, listening to Pink Floyd, and looking up some of these Facebook memes that people are posting with their 10 favourite albums. You must have seen that going around if you're on Facebook. It's funny because I wasn't going to do it. I don't normally do these meme things, but I've been getting so much enjoyment out of listening to the music that other people are posting, stuff that I've not heard before. I thought, you know what, I'm going to do this. So first one I posted today was Momentary Lapse of Reason, Pink Floyd, because there's a nice story there and it was a very influential moment for me. And I went in the house and my wife was like, oh no, you've weakened. So it's quite funny. But then I sat down and I listened to Momentary Lapse of Reason, and it's kind of ironic that the first Pink Floyd album I ever listened to was the first one that they did without Roger Waters, and I'm a huge Roger Waters fan. So stay tuned to see what my next 9 are going to be, if I can narrow it down to 9, that is. Yes, so that came about when I was in the hospital actually, when I was maybe still 17, possibly 18. And there was a guy in there who'd been shot by terrorists in Germany. He was in a pretty bad way, his legs were all broken, amongst other things, and he was the guy that introduced me to this Pink Floyd album. So moving along from that, I've been having some problems with my injured leg. I'm getting some tingling on the front, just above the foot, sort of above the ankle. I have nerve damage there and my ankle is fused. So tonight I'm walking in shoes instead of boots, which is a bit of a challenge coming up the hill because it kind of rubs my heels and they're not very tight. I normally use the boots for support, you see, because of my ankle problem. So I'm hoping it's just I don't know, maybe my boots were too tight. One time I came up here recently and that's caused some nerve pinching or something, I don't know. Anyway, I'm hoping it's not an age thing and that's me into a decline, which I'm kind of expecting, to be honest, given the state that my injured leg is in. So anyway, that's on my mind today, but I still got up here, which is good. And I'm back on the dizzy spells again, because this was day 3 without the Citalopram. It's making me feel dizzy. And I had a bit of a down spell tonight about 5 o'clock. But it didn't last long. What I did was I went and I got my book, my novel that I'm reading at the moment, and I sat out in the sun and I just read some of my novel. And then I went in and I had a shower. And by the time I got out the shower, my head was buzzing with ideas and things to do again, so that was good. My morning pages is going really well. I just wish this weather would last forever, honestly. My routine in the morning is pretty solid now, so I'm up around 7:30 and I'm getting a cup of coffee and I'm going out and sitting on the deck. It's still cold at that time, but the sun's coming up, so I put this on and I put on my down body warmer and I just sit there and take my hat off, let the sun's rays go about my face, and it's amazing. It really is. It's incredible. And then I get out my pens, my journal, make another coffee, and I do my pages, which is, it's amazing actually. And I feel justified now, having spent money on a new notebook and some good fountain pens and all that, because the pleasure that I get from that, it cannot be overstated, the importance of that. So it's a great little routine. And then around 9ish I'll go in, have something to eat, and I'll start doing my bank reconciliation, which is fantastic now that I'm using Xero. It takes literally 5 minutes because it's all linked up to the bank accounts, and I just managed finally to open a Monzo business account. Up until now I've been using a Monzo personal account, and with them for some reason you can't get a bank feed into Xero. So I'm using the business account now, so I'll start changing over my subscriptions and things to that. My banking's going to be so fast now. And the reports this afternoon, I carried on from what I was doing yesterday, which was to work on my own business plan. And my goal was to come up with a number to see what my enough figure would be in terms of revenue. And I got there, and Xero made it really, really easy. The reporting in there is fantastic. And the way that I've set up my Xero, I don't know, long-term listeners or viewers of this podcast might remember back around November, December, when I was really trying to figure out what system to use, and then once I had figured that out, how to use it. And I think I started again at one point. But the way I've set it up now is fantastic. My accountant's going to be cursing me come reporting time, because what I've done is I've put everything in it. So all the household bills, all the grocery shopping, all the business stuff. I mean, it's all different bank accounts, right? Different credit cards, etc. But everything's going in there. So when I want to see what the figure is that I need to make my business work, it's a doddle. I can see straight away how much we're spending, what the average numbers are. I've got 6 months of data now, so it's been fantastic. So now I've got myself a figure, and I started watching some of the social media university, or is it social media unity? It's SMU. I think it changed at one point from university to unity. It's Rachel Pedersen's course. Rachel Pedersen is an American social media manager who's doing a lot of mentoring and training courses. And I can't remember how I found her actually. It's probably on a podcast. And in her social media, let's see, SMU course that I signed up for, she does a particular module on how to price your business, how to price yourself. And so I've been watching that and taking lots of notes. I'm going to continue with that tomorrow and just keep plugging away at my business plan. It's good, it's exciting, I'm feeling motivated and excited. So boy oh boy, this wood stack is getting higher and higher. Higher and higher temptation. And I spoke to my wife about it, went outside with the tortoises and played with them on the grass, and told her that I'd come up with my figure and told her what the figure was, and she just laughed. She's like, "You what?" So I mean, as you know, if you watched yesterday's recording, you will know that my goal is to support the family single-handedly without Lorraine's having to work anymore doing what she's doing at the moment. And so we've come up with a figure, and she's like, "How are you going to get that?" I said, "Well, I'm never going to get it if I've got that kind of attitude, am I? I'm using affirmations and positive thinking and planning." And she's like, "Oh, is that what all your podcast people say?" So that's what she calls all the folk I listen to 24/7, it would seem. I've always got my earpods in and I'm always listening to something, but I'm always learning, you know. And I think Brian Rose actually is kind of responsible for this recent wave of motivation and positive thinking, along with my journaling, my stationery, and really that's it, I think. I know it's an age thing as well. I mean, I'm getting to the age now where spirituality and sobriety and positivity, these are all things that are vitally important to me now. Which is something Ice-T was talking about actually in his interview. It was quite interesting. And I'm really coming to believe in the power of positive thinking. I've always poo-pooed it. I've always thought it was, you know, hippie woo-woo stuff. But I think that was just fear that was making me judge things like that. I feel like I'm getting better. And doing this is helping a great deal as well, as I've spoken about recently. Talking into this and then publishing it. And just riffing into the devices without really any script or anything like that. It's incredibly helpful. So I'll finish there for tonight. I'll thank you all for watching and or listening. And before I go, for you video people, here's a little bonus for you. I'm just going to turn around and let you get a look at that moon because it's spectacular. Look at that. I don't know if it'll let me zoom. Oh, it will. Look at that view. So, audio people, if you want to have a look at myself and my environment as I walk and talk, jump over to my YouTube channel or my Facebook page. I publish videos on both of those platforms and I would love to see you there and engage with you. Thanks for watching. I'll speak to you all again probably tomorrow. Bye for now.